Okay, guys, so the video cut off, and yeah, my video cut off. So far I've just placed my first track. That's why I tend to not to record while I'm doing my hair anymore, because it cuts off and I keep having to check. And then I have 7 parts when I should have just uploaded 1 video. So I'm not too fond of that. And I don't get upset, I just don't do it. Alright, I'm not going to do it. I come to you guys afterwards. I'm like, yeah, this here is this. But I really would like to, you know, show you guys how I install it, being that it's been so highly requested. It's just that when the video cuts off and I have 7 parts for 1, even though you guys will watch all the parts, you know, because I have some really good fan base, I've been lucky that they will watch all the parts. I just don't feel that that is fair to you guys or to me. So I tend not to do that. So this is my first track. I laid my first track. I'm just going to make a part. I'm going to part where I'm going to put my next track. I'm trying to get 7 tracks in the back. That way it could be nice and full. If I get 7 tracks in the back, I know my hair is going to be really full. So that will be really nice. Really, really nice. Especially living here by myself, you know, a lot of people were hating when I did my hair. They were like, but why is this here? Why is that there? They tried to discourage me. But I just kept doing it, you know. I didn't like when I went to the hair salon the way they were rough with my hair, the way they treated my hair. So I decided that I was going to do my own hair and maximize on all my profits, because if I'm the person that orders my hair, I'm going to buy affordable hair that fits my budget. If somebody else buys the hair, they're going to go, well, they might do 1 or 2 things. They might buy hair that it suits them. Like, they're going to do that, you know. I used to get my hair done, and the lady, she always bought hair. And whatever hair I wore, it was always to profit her. I never profit off of it. So it made no sense for me to continue letting this lady do my hair and letting her profit. And I have my family that I need to support and take care of, while she's only thinking about herself. You know, so it's like, it wasn't enough me coming to her with my business, paying her to do my hair. That wasn't enough. She also, when she showed me hair or stuff, it was always to profit her and to make her look better. A gain for her and a loss for me. Which at the time it wasn't a loss, because people were like, you know, I'm young, I didn't know no better. Hopefully when I get older, I find a better hairstylist. But looking around, most hairstylists are like that. You know, except for me, because I've been through it. When I show people stuff, I'm like, this is quality. This is something you definitely want. You know, like, I would tell anybody to buy this hair I'm putting in. Whatever I buy, I would wear it. Not only would I wear it and install it in my hair, but I would actually tell you to purchase it as well, because it can only be a profit for you. You know? And it was crazy because her niece, she was like, I don't pay her to do my hair. She does it free. And she was like, every time I came over, she was like, she would put up the prices like the week before. Maybe I started going to this lady paying like $100 to get my hair done. And it was all for her gain. It wasn't for my gain. There was no point in time where it was for my gain. Everything that she did for me was always for her gain and for her to capitalize while I am losing. So once I get the back done, I'll show you guys how it looks. It will start to come together and start looking like something once the back is done. So I'm trying to go as close as possible to get the most tracks in the back before I hit my ears. But I'm already at my ears. I have a big head. That's the thing that helps me is that I have a big head. But when you're working with your natural hair and when you're working with your natural hair and you're doing an installation, so I have another part here, guys. When you're working with your natural hair and you're doing an installation, you want to make sure that you get as much hair, especially if your hair is short like mine's. Yeah, guys, this is Brownie from Manhattan, New York. I forgot to say that again because I restarted the video. Instead of uploading 2 parts, I'm just gonna start from this part. So I'll upload that, but I'll upload that as my bloopers. So so far, so this year I've earned 16 credits, and I attempted 24 credits this year, but I've only earned 16. So that's better than last year. Last year I attempted, I think, 60. Last year I attempted about 48 credits and I only had 24. So I was crying. I don't think 48 because I only failed 2 classes. I think last year I attempted something like 32 credits and I had failed remedial math. Well, I didn't fail, they failed, because they thought that if they failed me, I would just give up and stop, which they kind of like 3/4 accomplished that, because I just wanted to give up. I just wanted to stop. I didn't want to do school no more, and I didn't want to go back, and I didn't want to see another teacher. And if I did see another teacher, I would just like cross the street, like I'd totally cross the street, go on the other side of the street. No talking, no friendship. We're not friends. What you did to me was bad. And if I continue talking to you, then you're gonna feel like you did something good and not something bad. But if I at all times distance myself from you, you're gonna try to be like, I don't like people running from me. I like when people are around me and comfort me and talk to me. I don't like feeling that way. So in my experience, that works with people. You just gotta change up how you was treating them. If you was treating them extra nice and you was talking to them, he was like, oh, but maybe that's all that person knows. Regardless of whatever that person been through, when they hurt you, you have to express that they hurt you. You can't put their hurt above your hurt. When they fail you, they hurt your feelings, they hurt you. But you're like, this person been through a hard life and all this stuff. I don't care what this person been through anymore. It's about me. And the effect it has on me when they give me a low grade or they treat me unfairly versus how they treat the rest of the students. But yet I'm supposed to have the same, or a student is not on your level. To know a student is not on your level or not as educated as you and get a higher grade than you is very insulting. And for the past year and a half, almost 2 years, that's what's been happening to me. So I thought those students was actually smarter than me and like had more competency than me, until I seen those students work without them being advised by the teacher and the teacher telling them the right answers and the correct thing to mark, and they weren't smarter than me. And that's why I say crying may last for a night time, but joy cometh in the morning. So like, those teachers didn't think that I was going to be looking to see, they made me feel bad and they thought I was just going to give up. But instead of giving up, I was looking to see what this person has over me. why this person is better than me, why this person is getting a better grade than me. And I honestly sat there and looked, because maybe there's something I can learn. Maybe there's something that I can gain from this. Maybe I could get better. And when I looked, these people weren't above me. They weren't smarter than me. They weren't more intelligent than me. But I sat crying, saying, oh, it's not fair because these people are smarter than me. But it only was that they were coached by teachers to make them seem like they were more smarter and more better than me. And that was it. That was the whole ordeal. That was everything. And that had me crying. I cried and cried and cried. Like I was walking in the street crying, tears running down my eyes, snot running down my nose. I didn't care where I was because my feelings was hurt because I kept getting F's. And I know that I'm all on my own. And even if I'm the worst person in the world, I don't believe I've deserved this. And I was just sitting there walking around crying because I felt really bad. And I felt like ground zero. And I saw these people's work. And I still didn't feel better. Seeing these people work, seeing these people work, I still didn't feel better that they weren't above me. That hurt my feelings too. Like everything just hurt my feelings. After I got a grade that I know I deserve better, it just hurt my feelings and it just wasn't fair. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm sitting here crying. Sorry guys. I try to come to you guys with positive videos of me. So it just really wasn't fair. It really wasn't fair. So I've learned just to sit back when things ain't going your way. Just sit back because 9 times there's nothing you can do about it sometimes. Sometimes you just got to be the ass of the joke. And the more you do, the worse off for you. Because now you sit there and you put in even more effort to get something that somebody just doesn't want to give to you. They decided they're going to kill you. It don't matter what you do. They decided they're going to kill you, and that's what they're going to do. So you just got to sit back sometimes and be the butt of the joke. And it's crazy because people that was laughing at me were people that was also in my predicament. People that also had this done to them, but yet they found it hilarious that it was happening to me. It was like, boy, they couldn't stop laughing. This was the funniest thing they had ever seen. And I couldn't understand that if these people had been through this, why weren't they fighting to stop this? To make things like this not happen anymore? To just like erase it out of society. Just like how racism wasn't no good. Everybody worked hard to stop racism. They didn't sit there and laugh and try to support it. They walked in the street, people got killed. They took a stand. But instead, these people was trying to hold me down too. And they laughed at my pain and my hurt and my anguish because I was very, very anguished. And I was hungry, but I didn't know what I wanted to eat because I didn't want to eat. But my stomach would groan because, of course, your natural body gets hungry. You get hungry. But after continually hearing I'm a failure, getting an F, this is on a paper, this is on a record. When I go to look for a job and I try to tell them I have this degree, they only gonna see the degree and they might hire me or they might not hire me. But I am scarred for life of everything that I went through. Like, I'm always gonna remember this. And it's made me really timid and really scared. I had a lot of health declines during all of that. Like, my health declined a lot. I got really sick because I was trying to, these teachers were purposely failing me, purposely giving me grades to make me want to give up and just quit. And then in the end, they were like, some of them told me that it's not my fault, it's because I was never taught. Like, some classes you have to take it in, like, for instance, if there's A, B, C, D, you have to take class A in order to take class B. and then take Class B in order to take Class C, and then take Class C in order to take Class D. Well, there were some teachers that were just so awful and so wicked and did so much cruel things to me, and felt like they were above everything else, to the point that they said to me, Class A passed you but didn't teach you. That's why you're in Class B passed you and didn't teach you. Class C passed you and didn't teach you. So now you're in Class D, but you don't belong in Class D. Now these are people that have been doing this for a long time to me. And I want to know. So right now I'm at the point in my life where I'm really fighting with God, because I'm like, God, how long are these people going to be in charge of me? Why don't you break down these people, Why don't you break them down the way they broke me down? Why don't they suffer the way they made me suffer? Why is it that they can do these things to me? God, why don't you strike them with a strict, really fast, hurtful agenda, the way they struck me with a really strict, hurtful, harsh agenda, and let them feel the way I feel? But then I realized that these people probably would not feel the way I feel, because they aren't like me. They have no heart. They have no heart. If you were to do it to them, they probably would laugh and find it funny. It probably wouldn't even hurt them. It probably wouldn't even it wouldn't do anything to them. And basically, if I hadn't transferred this semester, this guy kept telling me he was going to fail me. And I was supposed to transfer last semester. And I didn't transfer. And I stayed one more semester. I'm just like, it's not getting any better. I'm a second year sophomore. It's not getting any better than this. I've been saying this is what's been happening, and God has vindicated me so that people can be able to see exactly what I was saying, and me not just saying that this is happening, and nobody's seeing what I'm talking about. To say that the sky is falling is one thing, but when meteors start falling from the sky, people gonna say, uh-oh, the sky is falling for real. So this last 2 semesters vindicated me, and I know that God is going to vindicate me some more. So I'm just going to sit and I'm just going to wait on God. I'm not going to try to do it my way anymore. I'm just going to sit and wait on God. If I do something and it ain't good enough, I'm going to just get down on my knees, because that's all I have left. I don't have the energy to be fighting with people no more. I'm just going to get on my knees and put it in God's hands, because I'm one person, and me against 1,000, of course I would be conquered and I would be defeated. But God against 1,000 people is like nothing, because He created every single one of us. So I'm going to get down on my knees as much as possible, pray and thank Him as much as possible, because He's working it out for my good. He knows who is who. He knows why He allowed me to be these people's victims. He knows what He's doing. He's in charge. He's never failed. He's never made a mistake. He has a plan that will bring me higher than I ever thought I could go. He has a plan. He is so smart that he can make a way out of no way, where maybe I'd have to sit down a couple of nights and think about how I'm going to get out, How I'm going to get out of this one? He has one plan that gets me out of everyone. And he puts me on, you know, like when you get on the horse and you get on the saddle. He puts me on top of a saddle, on top of a saddle, on top of another saddle. And he says, that's your seat. That's where I see you. So I'm just going to trust God. I've done all I know how to do. I can't do no more. Every time I try to do more, I get sick. So that is his way of telling me, let God. Let go and let me do this. I have this. I got this. You can't do this. I got this. I'm in charge. I'm the big man upstairs. I've vindicated you before and I'll vindicate you again. I've set you free before and I can set you free again. So I'm just going to let him do what he does best, and I'm going to praise him and thank him, even though I cannot thank him in advance, because God is more advanced than any of us can ever be. But that's just my advice to you guys. No matter what's going on, just let go and let God, because he got it in control. So I was praying. This is my part, guys. I want to show you guys this. This is my part. So now I'm going to take it all the way around. I'm going to show you guys. I'm just turning around. You guys probably didn't even catch that. You can see what I was doing. So I have this little piece left over. I'm probably going to use it in the front. Well, I could actually put it here on the side. I'm probably going to use it in the front. So I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to cut the rubber band from this one. So they are really, really, really big bundles. Really big bundles. It's a lot of hair, guys. It's a lot of hair. So, I'm just going to let go and let God. I decided that he is going to give me everything that he wants me to have. I decided that if he says yes, nobody can say no. I decided to trust him. See how much hair this is, guys? That's a lot of hair. You guys see how much hair this is? Guys, I only paid $68 for 4 bundles. Do you guys see this? And this hair is beautiful. 22 inches. And look how much hair I have. Guys, I'm telling you. Before I bought this hair, I started praying. I was like, God, you know what you're doing. Everybody else is buying hair, but I really don't feel that hair should be this expensive. And people were laughing at me, you know. I was like, I'm going to find some hair cheaper. And everybody laughed at me. They said, you ain't going to find no hair no cheaper. It ain't going to be real. It's going to be synthetic. Or it's going to be used. You know, just horrible things. And I said, it's all right. I'm going to pray. And God going to find me some hair that's cheaper. And now I'm sitting here. I had never, ever, ever before. I mean, I've always been able to. I had never wore this inch in human hair because I could never afford the $400 for 2 bundles here. And when these brands of hair came out, that was the prices for them. And being that I was taking care of myself with the subsidy of foster care checks, and depending on if my foster parent actually decided to give me that check, that's how I was taking care of myself. That's how I bought clothes. That's how I bought food. That's how I bought my transportation back and forth to school. That's how I bought my transportation back and forth to work until the first paycheck. But more importantly, God has been taking care of me all this time. And he promised me never to leave me nor to forsake me. And he promised to make a way for Ruth, no matter what happens. You know, even when I thought I had the money, I'm pretty good on my feet with money. So I was like, $3,000 ain't enough for me to buy 2 bundles of hair for $400 when I got my tax money. So, I don't know. Looks like I ain't going to be wearing no weaves this time. And then the lady that worked in the beauty hair supply, one day I walked in there and I wanted some human hair. And I was used to wearing a human hair blend in these inches. But her human hair blend, the prices of hair had gone up. And her human hair blend, which means it's not 100% real, it's mixed, was, her human hair blend cost about $100 for this many inches. So I was like, I don't want no fake hair for $100. It's not even real. $100? What am I paying for? She was like, you're paying for the inches. I was like, forget about it. I'm not paying that much for a blend. I'm okay. And when I was about to walk out, she said to me, wait a minute. And I said, yeah. And she said, whoa, I'm surprised you stopped. You know, I'll be telling people, wait a minute, they would have just kept walking and walked out. I'm surprised you stopped. I said, because I was taught manners. And you told me, wait a minute, and I heard you. So I stood up and I waited. And she said, business been going slow lately. So I work out a deal with you. When you shop here, you'll pay no tax. And that's if you continue shopping here. And I said, did I hear this lady right? Because she hadn't physically stopped me and said this to me. But she had said this to me. And at the door, I stood up. And the lady got mad. She was trying to come out the store. She was like, excuse me. No, she said, excuse you. And I moved out the way. And I let her exit the store. But this is what the lady had said to me. But she hadn't physically stopped me and said that to me. So I said, all right now. So it was kind of hard moving from the Bronx to Manhattan. But I got my same deals again. So I'm good. I'm on. I'm have my hair. My hair always made me feel better. But after these couple of semesters, boy, my hair couldn't help me. I felt so bad. My hair could not help me. I wasn't even looking to buy hair. I was looking to pack up and leave New York. But then I realized, after I stopped crying and reality settled in, if I leave New York, I'm just getting used to Manhattan. I had never lived in Manhattan before, and that's where I live now. For those of you who are just watching my channel now, I had never ever lived in Manhattan before. But when I came to Manhattan to view the prices of the houses, the apartment, when I came to, and I was looking for my apartment, and I came and I looked at my apartment. Before I even seen the apartment, I stood in the house and I said, I'm going to take it. I was raped by my foster father, and I was living in the Bronx in Co-op City in a foster home, and the lady lived with her husband. and her husband had just recently lost his job, so she said that he usually wouldn't have been home. But when we were talking and I was getting to know him, being that he was a man that lived in the house, he would always stop me. You know, somebody that's a low life, because I don't consider this person to be somebody of high standards. Somebody who is of very low standards and do stuff like this. He would stop me because he knew I was scared of him. So I would come in the apartment and rush my way to the room and get to the room and close the door. And he would have his hand right there at the door and stop the door. And he'd be like, I want to talk to you. and I'd be like, in my mind, my heart is racing and I'm really, really scared. And I don't know what it was about this man, but I felt it hadn't started with him. I was talking to this guy, and it was a domestic violence relationship. And when I met him, he was very scary to me. And I kept telling him, I'm scared of you. And he's like, I know, but what can I do to make you not scared of me? And I said, I'm scared of you. There's nothing you can do to make me not scared of you. I don't know why it is, but I am scared of you. I feel when I see you, my stomach start bubbling. I gotta pee, I gotta doo-doo, everything at one time. The first time I saw this guy, I urinated on myself. I was walking in the street and I passed this guy and he scared me so badly. I peed on myself. I just peed on myself. Nothing was happening. I was walking with my girlfriend and I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. She was like, come on. I was like, I can't. I gotta go back home. And so I went back home, bathed, changed my clothes, came back out and meet her like halfway to the destination where we was going because I peed on myself when I saw this guy. I just don't know why. But psychology says that you don't have to know why. But if 9 times out of 10 your first reaction is correct, if you feel scared, you should be scared. If you feel unsafe, you probably aren't safe. If you feel like you should start running, you probably should. You know, this is just all things that psychology says, you know, not me. It says that your first feelings, how you feel, are usually correct. And it's triggered by some past experience which has sent your mind to automatically take flight anytime you're in danger. Either flight or, what is it? To either go or to stop. So a lot of my viewers are in college, so you know what I'm talking about. So that's why I'm giving it to you guys like this. I usually wouldn't because I don't like it. I wouldn't teach it to anybody personally. It has scared the crap out of me. I could pee right now. Like I do. Like I just stand up and I get scared and I start peeing. Oh yeah, wait a minute. Like, so I'd be like, yeah, can I sit first? Because this is like something I can't control. And don't let me embarrass myself. I'm all outside. People see me pee all over myself. So I'm like, let me sit first. So, yeah, guys. He had pulled out a knife, and I thank God it's not even there anymore. The mark is totally gone, but he pulled out a knife. We were sitting down, and he pulled out a knife, and he attempted to cut my throat. That's what he had did. However, the knife scratched me across my heart. I remember because I just sat there After he pulled out the knife was dull, thank God, but the tip was sharp. So he thrust it and he said like that. And we were sitting talking. We were drinking, the night before. I had spent the night with him because he refused to allow me to go home. And he didn't want me to go out. I was supposed to go out with some girl, acquaintances of mine. And he said I was going out to go be with somebody. And he knew where I worked and all these things. And the way how he had been behaving lately had me scared. So I just didn't want him coming up to my job. And I didn't want him coming up to my job and doing something irate. And in the past couple of days, he had just been doing stuff that, those were the reasons why I was scared of him. He had never displayed them, but those were the reasons why I was so scared of him. Every time I got around him, I was scared of him. And those were the reasons. He had potential to kill me on the spot. And this guy is not the father of any of my kids. And I was in this relationship with him, and he could have killed me. And I go home. So after this night, I was so scared, I didn't even go home and bathe. I went straight to my mom's house. And I said, Ma, I took the bus to another bus, and I went to my mom's house. And I said, Ma, I almost died. She said, Child, sit down. Because, we always come with some stories, something happened in the street. So she thought it was just like something that, I don't know. My mom has never been motherly to me, even stuff like this. She never said to me, well, you know what? Come, let's sit down. Let's talk about this. What happened? I mean, I could have just had a gun at my head and came in and said, Ma, I almost died. She wouldn't have even said to me what happened. She just always been like this. And so I don't like it, but you can't change people. What can you do? What exactly could you do? So she said, I don't got no time for this. I have something to do. I said, no, you're going to listen to me. And I yelled at her. And I said, Ma, he raped me last night. He stabbed me in my chest and he tried to kill me. And my family is really uppity. So for me to say that was very embarrassing for them. Nobody in our family could talk of something like that. Something happening like that. Can't talk about that. We're uppity people, And you know this. How dare you talk about something like that? So, I don't know. When I went to alternative high school. And they always used to tell me, anytime, being that the experiences in the foster homes and stuff, they could see it on me, but I would never talk about it. And it would upset them because they're like, you need to talk about it. They went as far as to mandate me to go to to see the counselor once a week. And I just sat there and looked at her. Because I didn't realize what was happening. I hadn't processed what is happening. How am I going to say this happened when I really don't even understand what just happened? So I just started talking. I was like, Ma, sit down and shut up. You're going to listen to me. And I just started talking. And I didn't care that it was disrespectful what I had said to her. But I had to tell her, shut up and listen to me. She had to hear what just happened. I hadn't processed what just happened. She asked me if I was watching a movie, and I was about to say, yeah, I hadn't processed it at all. Somebody can confuse you. When traumatic stuff like this happens, and somebody's talking to you, somebody of high influence, or somebody that you respect a lot, they can manipulate you to believe that did not happen. And I would have left my mom's house saying, boy, that didn't happen. We was watching a movie last night with him. That's what happened. because that's what they had done to me when I was younger. When things like this, traumatic like this happened, they would tell me something else happened. And even though I was there and I just experienced it, I didn't figure they was teaching me to lie. I didn't figure they was altering my story. They know what's best. Your family only do what's good for you. You know, that's all you've been taught your whole life. If they tell you to say this, you say this. They tell you to say that, you say that. So I'm very grateful that my mom gave me up, because I wouldn't have had a chance to go to college. Because my mom don't make enough to send 3 kids at college one time. She make a 6-figure salary, but she don't make enough to send all 3 of us to college one time and pay for our tuition. That means she has her own 3-family house. So that means she'd have to pay mortgage, electricity, heat, water, rent, city tax, property tax, and 3 20-something-year-olds colleges. So she doesn't have enough to cover all of us. So if she hadn't given me up, I wouldn't have gotten this amazing opportunity. So it's sad, but it's something really good, because where would I be? You know? Where would I be? I would not be here right now with, hold on, I gotta do the math, y'all. I'm not good with math. So in my first year of college, my cousin, he texted me on Facebook, and I was wondering if he was okay. On my first year of college, I got 24 credits. In my second year of college, I've gotten 16 credits. So I now have 40 credits, and I need 22 more credits to graduate. So, guys, I should have graduated. I should have graduated in, I think something like a year and a half. I should have graduated within, I think it's like 14 months. I think it's like 14 months I should have graduated. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 semesters you should graduate. However, I've been through 6 semesters and I haven't graduated as yet. And it's not that I was taking my time. I was taking every course that I could take to graduate. I looked it up. When I got advised, my advisors were trying to give me courses that weren't pertaining to my major, but I would look it up. And so they started not to like me, because they're like, okay, we trying to get her off track. We trying to push her off track. But she's smart enough to look at where she's supposed to be. We don't want a student like that. So I would tell them, like, you know, but I looked online and I printed it out and this is for my major. And they're like, oh, but you got to take this before that. So when I say, in the end of the day, when it comes to me, it's me alone with God. Nobody's going to tell me something else. I may sit down and listen to you, but I know where I'm supposed to be. I know when you're lying to me. I'm a kid and I grew up. You may have lied to the kid. A lot of times when I was a kid, you lied to me, told me whatever you wanted to tell me, and I believed you, because being raised with my culture, that's what you do. Somebody tell you hop, you tell them how high and how many hops I should hop. But now I'm like, brother man, I ain't hopping for you. You don't respect me and I don't respect you. I ain't going to disrespect you. Even if you disrespect me, I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm just not going to deal with you. And that's just my whole take on everything right now. But when you go to college, they don't give you that option. I'm going to beat you in your head and I'm going to tell you ain't going to make it. You're going to tell me, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I ain't going to make it. And you don't walk around and tell you about you ain't going to make it. This is my song, guys. I love this song. Kneel down, worship and adore. Come. Okay, so this is all I have left from that bundle. Come, let us adore Him. Kneel down. Worship and adore Him. Emmanuel. So, this is all I had left from those two bundles. And I'm about to cut another one open. So I'm going on my third bundle now, guys. Guys, I have some red wine. And Christians could drink red wine. I might just open that bottle. So, I'll be back, guys. I'm going to pour a glass of wine so I can drink wine while I'm doing my hair. So, this is the part, guys. I'm going to let the music entertain you guys for a second. Onto my hair at the same time. So I want to do all of this at one time. I want to sip my nice Chardonnay from Gato Negro, do my hair, listen to some nice gospel music, and know that I'm making this out the victor. Instead of going back and forth. That was fast, right, guys? So stay tuned for part 2, guys, because I think this video is going to cut off because it's already 50 minutes. So this is part 1 of my Virgin Indian hair install. Stay tuned for part 2.